Welcome. This is Jerome from ibuild.ph, digital marketing and web design company based in Manila, Philippines. Welcome to our tutorial for Google Analytics, Metatags, and SEO for Drupal. Okay. In this video, we will be focusing on Drupal 9 as our CMS. So we will learn how to generate and integrate Google Analytics with our Drupal 9 website, as well as meta tags. Google Analytics for us to be able to track the statistics, performance, and the usage of our Drupal 9 website, and meta tags for Drupal 9 so that our website and in the web pages are fully optimized when we share this in social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And also, we will also check how to work with XML sitemap and also for the same way for meta tags that will work best for when you are trying to search optimize any Drupal 9 website. All right. So in our example, we have this website and we need to install for our first topic, Google Analytics. We need to quickly install a module called Google Analytics. So you'd probably just need to check out how to install a new module. And once that's installed, you need to enable that. And once that's enabled, you need to configure it and get the Google Analytics account ID. The account ID, in this case, this is the account ID of this website. Get that from Google Analytics. Normally, you'll be able to get the account ID whenever you sign up to a Google Analytics account and integrate any website. And Google Analytics will provide you a universal a tracking ID. Uh, Normally, it's formatted as UA dash and some numerics, and that's for the old version of Google Analytics, the Universal Analytics. But for the newer version of Analytics, which is the GA4, you'd probably get another pattern like G dash any numbers. All right. And once you get that, you simply go to Google Analytics under under web service, config web service, or probably just like we have seen, just get the from the listing of from the module listing. And once you're inside the configuration of Google Analytics, just put in the Google Analytics tracking ID and other settings that you need to check out. If you're tracking a single domain, just simply use this. But if you're tracking multiple domains with different subdomains, for example, like you have an app or any other an online store, you might want to use this. But since we're tracking just a single domain for a single website, just use this. All right. You'd probably leave everything else default. This part here will ensure that the administrative pages will not be recorded so that only the public visits will be recorded by the Google Analytics account, Google Analytics. All right. And with that, just save it. And once that's saved, you will now see that this website now has Google Analytics installed. And how can you check that? Just click on View Source, wrap the line, and try to find any instances of this and there. As you can see, when we Control F to find for this ID, we have seen that we have successfully installed or integrated this website to Google Analytics. All right. So therefore, when you head over to Google Analytics, you'd probably be registering traffic already for this website. And where do you find the tracking code again? If you're not familiar, just head over to your account and click on admin, and you would go to property settings, and under tracking info, tracking code, you'll get this. All right. It's slightly different if you've set up using Google Analytics 4, but you'd still probably get it from the property settings. All right. Okay, so that's it for Google Analytics. I hope that helps. Okay. So moving on, how we need to show you how to use meta tags for Drupal 9. What are meta tags? Meta tags are tags used in your website that will help that will help Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and even search engines to um, properly identify your website, and it gets rendered correctly in social media and in search engines. All right. So when talking about meta tags, we are concerned with the open graph tags. Open graph tags is one type of meta tag that are being used by Facebook and LinkedIn. Twitter has its own tag, which are called Twitter tags. So we'll also demonstrate that. Okay. But all of this can be handled by a module called meta tags. So the same way, you'll simply have to go to your website, to your Drupal 9 website, and click in extend, where you get the list of modules, and add new module, install a module called meta tag. All right. So normally you'd probably just try to find that Drupal module meta tag. That's how you try to look for a particular Drupal module, or in our case, Google Analytics earlier. All right. And later on, XML sitemap when we will be doing SEO for Drupal. All right. Okay. So I have already installed meta tag earlier. So I just need to quickly check. Once you install meta tag, the main module, it bundles other sub meta tag modules like all of these below. So you simply need to choose which meta tag sub modules you need besides the main meta tag module. And for our case, since we need the open graph tags for Facebook and LinkedIn, and of course meta tag for Twitter, we need to select these two and enable that or install. Okay. And once those are installed or enabled, best practice is to immediately check out for the settings or any configuration for your module. So for example, let's check out what meta tag module has in store for us. Okay. And if you configure meta tag, you'd get things like you know uh, meta tags that are already automatically assigned by default by the module. But you can customize this according to our needs, and we will show you how to work with that today. All right. Okay. So since that is already enabled, you simply have to check what kind of content is this particular page that you want the meta tags to be rendered. All right. And knowing our Drupal 9 website, we know that if you access that page, and you'll probably get an edit button, somewhere here. All right. And you'd probably see that this page has been created by a content type in Drupal called a basic page. All right. And since it's a basic page, you need to head over to meta tag configuration and quickly check if under the settings, if you have support for basic page, if you have meta tag support for basic page. And as we can see, we have, but we still need to enable it for this particular content type. Okay, basic tags, advanced, open graph, and Twitter cards. These are the same submodules that have been provided by the meta tag module, which we have enabled earlier. All right, we simply need to enable this and save at the end of the page. All right. Okay, another thing that to note is that since you are trying to integrate meta tag for the content type called basic page, you need to quickly check your basic page and quickly check its fields because by default, all right, by default, we need to check if the meta tag field has been enabled already. And once you have installed and enabled it and provided that feature for your content type, this particular field now under manage fields, the meta tag field has been enabled already. And we simply have to quickly check what settings we have here. All right. So you don't really have to do anything here. You just need to check that it's been enabled as a field. All right. So once we have that, going back to our page, we now see that there's a meta tag field. There are meta tags fields that are already available here. That has been provided by the module and has been enabled. And one of these tags are the basic tags, advanced, open graph, and Twitter. The same ones which we have enabled here, if you will remember, right? The same ones here. All right, those tags. Okay, these are different meta tags that will work that serves different purposes. For example, the meta tag for basic tags, uh, what do we have? We have page title, we have meta tag description, and for advanced, you'll probably want to focus on the image tag, among other things. For Open Graph, since as we have mentioned, Open Graph is needed by Facebook and LinkedIn. So there's that setting here. And you need to provide some values again for the title and for the description. Of course, you can do all these other settings here, but we'll just focus on the essentials. Okay, Facebook needs at least a title and LinkedIn and a description and an image. So you need to provide the URL of the image that you want to show in social media when you are sharing this page. All right. And going further down, you'd probably notice Twitter cards. And the same way, there are configurations that says if you're using Twitter meta tags, we want something like a summary card with a large image. Otherwise, if you use summary card, just summary card, it will show a smaller thumbnail, which is not really what we want. What we want is summary card with large image. Okay. And of course, the same title and the same image, or probably a different image for Twitter if you want, right? Or a different call to action title targeting Twitter audience. You can customize it here. All right. So just in case you want this automated, for all content types, for all basic page content type, you want this automated, you could probably head back again to the content type, basic page and manage. And from there, No, I'm sorry. You need to head over to configuring the meta tag module, and from the meta tag defaults, you need to find if there is a content that's targeting the basic page. And since we do not have that yet, you'd probably want to duplicate the default provided content, clone that. If you do not have clone, that's another module called entity duplicate or entity clone. All right. Or if you do not have the clone module, you probably want to, get these settings first. So you have a template. Okay. And add default meta tag. This time we want to create a meta tag preset for content type called basic page, right? Content basic page. All right. And what are the basic tags here? All right. So just get the template that we have provided, that we have gotten from from a general content meta tag setting. For title, if you want, these are called in Drupal, these are called tokens. These are called tokens. These are automated shortcodes that will get dynamic values from your fields. So if, for example, you want to use automatically the same title that will appear as a meta tag title or your page title as what you have entered in your title field, you'll probably want to use the node colon title token. And that's for basic tags. Okay. What are basic tags, by the way? Basic tags are stuff that you will see, for example, when you are looking at the tab, at the page tab here. That's being generated from your basic tag title page. All right, to continue, we are now configuring, we need to create a meta tag configuration for our content called basic page. I have already created that earlier, but if you do not have that yet, you'd probably just want to clone an existing by default, clone that, or probably create one yourself by clicking this button and provide the label. Provide which content type are you working on. So content, in this case, basic page, and provide stuff that's needed. So if you want, if you do not know how to work with tokens, you'd probably just want to check what has been provided in existing. So for example, under content, we have an example. This particular configuration will apply across all of your content types. So whatever type they are, as long as they are content types. But we want a specific configuration for the content type basic page. So you might just want to take note that normally for title and description, these are the tokens that you need. So just take note of that. All right. So that if you are already creating one, so for the basic, anything that asks for title, you'd probably just want to copy the node title here. And for the description, the node summary. And for the image, once you need to input images, you actually need to provide the URL of the image which you have previously uploaded in your website, or probably an image that you will still upload. In my case, I already have something like this image here, and just make it. You could probably make it relative URL, you know, so that if anytime my domain changes, I don't have to go back and change the setting here. All right, so those are the settings that I would need for the image, description, and title. And that will be, and the same values can be used all over for, again, basic tags, advanced for the image, open graph for the same title description that will be used for again for Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter for Twitter, and the same way title, and there's a description somewhere. Where's the description? There, the description and the image URL. All right. So why do we need to create something for basic page when you have something generic already here? Because we want to target and we want to automate settings for basic page because sometimes a basic page has different field settings than your other content types, right? So that's why I have created this. And to configure that, as I have mentioned, I'll just need to edit and fill in the other things that's still missing. Like for example, what is the node title and site name, by the way? The node title is a token that will get the value from whatever you have put in the title field of your basic page or of your content, while the site name will be fetched from it's a label of the website. So whatever you have put under config system basic settings, that's it. So this is the site name, right? So in short, the value for the title meta tag title or page title would therefore be your site name at the end, and there's a separator vertical bar, and the node title of your whatever page you are doing. All right. This way, this gets automated for all of your content basic pages. All right. So going back on configuring the content basic page, we need to make sure we have that and summary whatever you have put under the body description. But in this case, since you have none, you could actually put something here, some custom description here. All right. Okay. So going back again, we want to automate stuff. All right. As you can see, there are robot tags here, for search engines. But even if you do not click index or follow, this is already assumed by default. So you don't really need to check that unless you do not want the page to be indexed or to be followed by search engines. So that's the time you use no index and no follow. That's for SEO, right? These are tags for SEO. Okay, so for image, since I already have an image that I have uploaded previously, so where do you upload images with Drupal? With Drupal, you upload images under config media, and under file manager, you normally get an uploader interface called IMCE file browser. And I have already uploaded previously by clicking upload from your computer. I have already uploaded a necessary image that I will use. And by just clicking this, after uploading, simply copy the link provided here or right click on the image. No, on the link provided here. And that's the one that I need to use. And again, since just in case my domain will change in the future, I want to take out the domain. So I will not use absolute URL, but I will use relative URL. And that's the one that I will put in meta tag fields every time an image is being asked. All right. And for open graph, the same way, I need the title. And for the description, node summary. And for the image, okay. Actually, I do not want this, by the way, because this is a global setting for basic page, right? This is specific to this particular page. So I'd probably use that image to override here later on. All right. So I just need to check that the other settings for title and descriptions are there. So site name, just in case this will be used by Facebook for some reason, put in the site name token value. And image, just leave it, default for now. without value because we want to use, but sometimes you want to put the image, right? The maybe for demonstration purposes, let's do that. And I need to get back here for search engines. Search engines, that will be under advanced image. And for open graph, we also have the image. For open graph, it asks for three values. Image, just paste the same URL value, and image secure URL. And for our Twitter, okay, this time you want to use the value summary card with large image. So it will display a larger image than the thumbnail compared to the thumbnail. And just copy the same one here. So the title of the Twitter post will show your page title and your website name. And for the image URL, let's use this for now. Since we are promoting this convention, this annual convention of the organization, the description, it's up there. All right. And probably that's all we need. Save. What we have done is to automate stuff for the content basic page. Therefore, every time your encoder creates a new basic page, it will now have automated settings. See, it's already there, including the image. Let us see if it's there. Oh, it's not being rendered. I don't know why. Maybe let's override it here. All right, but that should work. Anyway, and so on and so forth. Okay, so therefore, if we want to customize further this page, the page that you are working on, not the global setting for basic page, but a particular page, we want to put in the particular image here. Okay. And for example, for open graph, maybe we need to refresh this page for the automated settings to appear because it's been opened since a while back. Meta tags again. So as you can see, it's already there. Summary. And for the image, I'd want to use this. For open graph, we'll need to put in this again. I'm not sure why it's not working, the automation, but we could check it later on. Open graph, site name. No, just the site name. But for the title, it will have both. Okay, so for description, we'll put in if there is a summary text later on, it will show the image URL here and another image URL here and image secure URL here. And until Twitter, summary card with large image, description, image again, and then the title tag, the site name. That should be the title here. Okay, that's it. All right. Before saving this, I want to show you that, previously, if we want to share this URL, if you want to share this URL, for example, to Facebook, it will not look good. So for example, I will be using Facebook Debugger. This is called Facebook Debugger. You can just look it up. And I want to check if my meta tags are in place. And since we have not saved that yet, as you can see, Facebook will try to get something from your page, in this case, the logo. And sometimes we do not want that. and some title and some description. The same way with LinkedIn. If I want to expect that LinkedIn will try to get something in getting an image, and this is not the correct image that we want, and maybe probably this is not the correct title that we want, right? So that is why we're doing what we're doing right now. All right. And if we save this for Twitter, we still need the description, the summary, just in case it will have one in the future. And save that. Where is it? Up there. The save button for this page. This is the page, right? Okay, save. All right. And by this time, using a Chrome extension called SEO Meta in one click, if I refresh this page, I can now see that all the values that I have entered manually specific to this page are now appearing. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Let me edit this again. Maybe it's cache. If the changes are not appearing, try to flash your cache. There are two kinds of caches here for Drupal. Flash cache here and also under performance, just to be sure, because there's been some cache already implemented. Okay, and then try to refresh the page again, the public page. There's no description here. But so for the socials, we have one. Oh, because there's no description. There's no description in our body field, right, for this page. So probably you'd want to optimize that. This is the reason why we're doing this. We want to optimize this. Instead of putting something here because it will appear on the page, which we do not want yet, we could probably use the same text found here and put that over here for the description. So all of the description meta values should have that instead of a token, which is not getting anything, right, from the body field. So we have free until Twitter here. All right, and then save that again. Once you have saved that and refresh, Control F5, a public display of your page, you now have something. When checking with SEO Meta in one click, you now have a value here. All right. So in socials, for Open Graph, you have everything. For Twitter, you have everything. All right. Okay. So moving on again, if I want to test it on Facebook Debugger, just search for it, Facebook Debugger, and I want to debug it. It will still see if it still sees the old one, uh, the old values. It's because it has been saved already, and it has been cached on the database of Facebook. So you need to scrape this again to refresh Facebook's database. And by now, the image will now appear with the correct title that you have entered. The same way with uh, LinkedIn Post Inspector. Just click back again on Post Inspector, paste the URL, the same URL that you want to debug in LinkedIn, and it will now show the same OG image and the OG title tag. All right. But I guess for LinkedIn, it does not show the description. Okay. So that's it. So I hope you have learned something. For Twitter, probably the Twitter card validator has already been um, deprecated. So if you really want to test it out in Twitter. All right. So maybe we should do that. Nothing to hide here anyway. and I'll tweet it. And it shows the correct image, the title, and what's good with Twitter, it displays the description. All right, I guess that's it. Unfortunately, we do not have time to discuss XML sitemap for SEO, um, but we can do that in a separate video. We are running out of time. But for SEO for Drupal, I think I just need to quickly uh, explain how search engines work. Whenever you are searching for something like, this is fix annual convention, probably Google has not indexed that yet. Google has not crawled and indexed that yet because this was launched just yesterday. So before submitting this to Google, this URL, this new page, or probably this new website, you have to make sure that all of your meta tags are in place. And the meta tag module, as you can see, will really help with that. Ensure that your meta tags are in place. Like what? The meta name description, because this is what Google normally uses when it's showing values under here in the description of the SERPs or search engine result pages. And the title tag, the meta title, will be taken from the title tag, this one. Google will use that. So just ensure that you have that in place. The same way, meta OG title tag and meta OG site name and meta OG description for Facebook and LinkedIn. And for Twitter, that's the meta tag Twitter card and the Twitter description and the Twitter title and the image and so on and so forth. So normally, Google search tries to find your title page, your title tag on your page, and the meta description that you have entered using our meta tags module. All right. So I guess that's it. We'll do another session for Drupal XML sitemap, which will work better for SEO, especially if you're using Google Search Console. Uh, just let's keep in touch and just watch out for it. All right. Bye.